Starting lineup for Lou Piniella tonight: Soriano, Terrio, and Fukudome at the top of the order. Derek Lee hits fifth. Milton Bradley's last 6 games, he's heated up a little bit. And Fontenot and Soto. Andres Blanco will bat 8th and play second base. Randy Wells, the pitcher, a converted catcher. On the mound for the Braves is Kenshin Kawakami, 33 years old, 5'11", 200, 3-6 on the year. He's coming off a start against San Francisco, where he kind of reverted back to his old ways, Chip. He walked 4, gave up 9 hits in 5 2/3 innings and got beat 6-3. And again, he's got to cut down on the walks, just like he did in that brilliant game he pitched against Toronto 2 starts ago.
So, the talent's there. The ability to do that is there. Let's see if he can string together a couple of good starts in a row for this Braves club on this homestand. It all starts with the Cubs and Alfonso Soriano. Got to watch out for him. He loves to go for the downs in the opening sequence of the game. And Kawakami, knowing he's sitting on dead red, drops in a slow curve for a called strike. Soriano, like many of these Cubs, in a terrible slump. Just 6 hits in his last 45 at-bats. Remember, a couple of years ago, there was some bad blood between the Braves and the Cubs. Tim Hudson hit him on the hand last year, fractured his 4th metacarpal. As you see, Kosuke Fukudome giving the scouting report on his former Chunichi Dragon teammate Kawakami to those Cubs hitters.
Well, that's one advantage they'll have over a lot of the National League teams, is Fukudome does know him.
And he's due up third for Chicago in the game's first inning.
In San Francisco, he threw that slow curve almost too much, to the point that in one at bat, I remember Aaron Rowan saw it about 3 times, and on the third one he hit a double, almost hit it out of the ballpark. So he's got to use that pitch in the right spots, maybe as an out pitch. And it looked like Soriano just barely got a piece of it there.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Fly ball belted right center field. Soriano has a leadoff homer.
Again.
54th in his career. That's most among National League players. He just passed Craig Biggio, and the Cubs lead 1-0.
Doesn't seem to matter who he plays for, just who he plays against. And when it's against the Atlanta Braves, whether he was with the Washington Nationals or now the Cubs in the National League, he tears Atlanta up. Great extension going to right center field. It's his 16th career homer against Atlanta.
And obviously the Fukudome scouting report paid dividends, as Ryan Terrio, who's on a power tear himself, is in the box. He's hit 5 home runs this year.
Well, it's funny because Fukudome had a rough April, gave up 5 homers in his starts in April, and went the month of May and did not give up a single home run. There were only 3 other pitchers in baseball that did that. And in his first start of June, first batter.
Ground ball deep short. Yunel Escobar loads up. The other 3 men of whom you speak, Zach Greinke, Tim Lincecum, and Aaron Cook, also kept the ball in the park the entire month of May.
Here's the Atlanta defense behind Kenshin tonight. Anderson, Blanco, and Francoeur from left to right. It'll be Chipper, Escobar, Johnson, and Prado. We haven't talked any about Casey Kochman. He's going to miss a couple of days after getting hit in the leg with a pitch in Arizona. Brian McCann will do the catching. I'm not even sure Casey can pinch hit. His leg's so bruised and battered.
I don't know if you're a Bruce Springsteen fan or not, but you know the song "One Step Up, Two Steps Back"? As that one back through the box. Fukudome is retired for the second out. Every time the Braves get one guy back, seems like somebody else goes down. They haven't kept their lineup together much.
It's the truth. Look, see that ball comes right back to Scherzer, Chip. That would tell you that it was a direct shot to the side of the leg. And talking to Casey after the team got home, and he was on crutches when the team came home, he said it must have hit a nerve, too, because his leg was kind of numb from that. He couldn't put any weight on it because of that. But let's hope he's better in a few days.
So Prado will get some extended time at first for the Braves. And here's Derek Lee, 248 his average. Derek with 5 home runs. And unbelievably, partner, just 19 runs batted in.
He's missed some time. He's had he had some neck spasms. He also missed some games late in May with the flu. Hard to figure. He did hit .313 for the month of May, but it wasn't a full month.
His finest season for the Cubs was 2005. 50 doubles, 46 homers, 107 RBIs. He's hit 49 home runs since. He grounds a 1-1 pitch to short, and after the leadoff home run from Soriano, the Cubs enjoy a 1-0 lead heading to the bottom of the first.
Outstanding with a couple of homers and 5 RBIs. Garrett Anderson hit his first home run of the season on Sunday. Prado at first base, then Francoeur, Blanco, and Kawakami. On the mound, Randy Wells, 26 years old, 6'3", 230. He's pitched great for the Cubs, but nothing to show for it. And he's a converted catcher. And more on that as we go along.
And Kelly Johnson back in the leadoff spot for the Braves. Takes a ball high from Wells. 1 ball and no strikes. Doesn't look like he pitches like a catcher. Doesn't look like that hand's cocked behind the ear like Bartolo Colon say.
No. Nice motion. Sinker slider guy.
That one sinks and slides into center field where Fukudome gathers underneath. And there's your first out.
And the rest of the Cubs defense, along with Fukudome in the outfield. In left field, Soriano, Milton Bradley in right. They're infield, missing Ramirez at third base, as Fontenot there. Terrio at shortstop. Andres Blanco at second base. Derek Lee, at first. And Giovanni Soto, the catcher.
Wells is out of Belleville, Illinois. That's right across the river from St. Louis. And he already has a terrific sense of humor. When he was asked about his conversion from a catcher to a pitcher, he said, well, it's obvious the marketing guys wanted to get my pretty face from behind the mask. And a pop-up deep short. Ryan Terrio is under that. 2 pop-outs. Starts the game for the Atlanta offense.
Well, at least he was thinking.
Yes, exactly. So Johnson and Escobar fly out. Here's Chipper. How's the toe?
Still sore. Sunday he hit a ball off his foot that just missed the toe. And on the next pitch hit a home run. But he said it scared him so bad because it was so close.
And it's still lefties that would give him more problems with that right toe?
That's correct. He'd much rather bat left-handed.
Takes a shot at left, but right at Soriano. He'll make his patented hop as he catches. And Wells retires Atlanta in order and has a 1-0 lead as we go to the second.
Georgia, and what might be his last rehab assignment. Tim Hudson pitched today, and he was going to throw 60 pitches from the mound in the bullpen. Omar Infante out with a broken hand. Probably be another 6 weeks for him. And Casey Kochman, as we mentioned, day to day after getting plunked in the leg with that pitch on Sunday. Get the perfect balance of health and care at Piedmont Hospital, the preferred health care provider of the Atlanta Braves. Visit PiedmontHospital.org. And I think it's time that everybody met the newest member of the Carey family, Tristan Carey.
He looks a little familiar, doesn't he?
He does to me. And already trying to work his way into the microphone.
No question about it, yes. Jim Budka having a heart attack as he's chewing on one of the cables. Hey, look that way. There you go.
Over here, buddy. Here's the camera. He's going to have to work on that.
Well, like his grandfather, he does like a bottle late at night. Just thought you'd like to know.
Very good.
Milton Bradley leads off the second.
Well, his first visit to Turner Field, so outstanding.
Yeah, he's doing great. He's a blast. Who said sleep's overrated, as you know? No balls and a strike. Well, here's another guy for this Cubs club that really hasn't panned out so far for Lou Piniella's team, although Milton Bradley swinging the bat a little better of late. They were so desperate to add some left-handed power to their ball club. Bradley hasn't given them an awful lot.
And after the year he had last year in Texas, everybody thought, well, he'd be the perfect complement to their lineup. And as you say, it just hasn't happened yet, but he is beginning to heat up a little bit. He's hitting 4 in a row. 8 for his last 20.
No balls, 2 strikes to him from Kenshin Kawakami. And that's fisted out of play foul.
Through May last year, what numbers? A .320 average, 8 homers, 31 driven in, and quite a difference this year in a Cubs uniform.
How much of that is moving back to the National League for Bradley? How much of that is day baseball? How much of that, if any, is the pressure of playing for a club that, again, everyone thought was going to cruise through the National League and get to the World Series this year?
Well, I don't think the bright lights of Chicago affect him that much, Chip, but you wonder if maybe playing every day in the outfield affects him some, because he DH'd a lot last year.
And he's had knee trouble. If I'm not, I remember he had that confrontation where he was arguing with an umpire and Bud Black had to restrain him and he blew out his knee.
Right. Horrible accident.
And he rolls this one to the right side. In between, hop handled by Martin Prado, and Bradley's retired. By the way, a little odd to see a member of the Cubs wearing 21 and not have the name Sosa on the back. But it's Milton Bradley wearing 21 now.
A little different. Do you think the fans picked up on that right away?
Oh, yeah. They don't miss much in the bleachers and right, man. So Bradley's retired. 4 in a row retired by Kawakami after the Soriano homer. Here's Mike Fontenot. He's hitting .224. And I think your point about the Cubs is right on target in the open. You're without Aramis Ramirez. You're going to struggle to hit the ball out of the park consistently.
You've got to find some offense in different places, and then the weight of that really falls on the shoulders of guys like Lee and Bradley and Soriano, and to this point they haven't.
Kelly slides to his right, staggers to his feet, and can't get the speedy Fontenot. That'll be an infield hit. Nice effort to get to that ball, but Fontenot runs well.
It looked like Kelly had just a brief problem getting to his feet. Great stop here. And then he couldn't quite get up fast enough to get him. Good range, but right there. And Martin with that throw off the mark. Martin, a veteran move at first base to come off the bag, knowing they weren't going to get Fontenot.
So the rookie of the year last year, Giovanni Soto, is in for Chicago. Soto's had a bad shoulder a lot of the spring. He's hit only 1 homer. He's knocked in only 12 men. He's hitting under .225. And I know they've been selling hope at the corner of Clark and Addison for 100 years or so. But we're at the point in the season where 50 games or so, you can't be hoping guys turn around. They've got to start doing it, don't they?
Yes, they do, and they've got track records of these guys showing that they can. Soto last year, the Rookie of the Year, as you pointed out, but I said he didn't hit 200 in April. He barely hit 100 in April, and just 2 RBIs for the whole month, but showing signs of coming around.
Product of the Cubs farm system, taken in the 11th round in 2001. And as a young player, they had him playing every place. Played third base, played left field, played first base, caught, served as a DH, then finally settled in behind the plate. Made his big league debut in 2005, and here he is.
It's kind of interesting that the one guy last year in such a highly successful offensive year drew the most criticism was Fukudome. His manager was on him quite a bit about his lack of performance, and this year he's probably been their most consistent, if not their best offensive player.
Like the wins at Wrigley Field, perception changes in an instant, doesn't it? And a full count. Here's where you talked about Kawakami being in danger zone. Can't afford to walk people against a struggling offense.
And despite their struggles, they still are a threat. These guys can still hit the ball out of the ballpark, as Soriano proved in the first inning. So you don't want to go to a lot of 3-2 counts either, where you've got to throw a strike.
Runner goes, pitch chopped foul, and out of play.
Well, the good thing for the Cubs, like the good thing for the Atlanta Braves, is that while both teams have hovered around 500, up or down a couple of 3 games, the Cubs are 4 games out, the Braves are 4.5 out. No one's run off and left them in their respective divisions, but both teams need to get on a roll.
Again, the runner goes. 3-2 pitch is low. That's ball 4. Well, is it fair to say when you, again, compare these clubs, as you see the first walk from Kawakami here in a moment.
This was close enough that Brian McCann came out of there throwing. That looked like a pretty good pitch. I guess it was low. That looked to be right at the knees.
The main difference between the Braves and Cubs at this juncture in the season is Atlanta has Omar Infante and Casey Kochman out, but they're not counted on to be gigantic run producers for this club. The Cubs are going to get Aramis Ramirez back, and he is a gigantic run producer for him. They also are, the Cubs, hopeful of getting Rich Harden back. The Braves are hopeful of getting Tim Hudson back, although that won't be till August at the earliest. The other similarity, I guess, is can either team afford to go out and add help and add money to their payroll?
Not without subtracting. You know, there's going to have to be, I don't know about the Chicago Cubs payroll situation, but from Atlanta's standpoint, I would guess you'd have to subtract before you could add.
That's why they had to trade Mark DeRosa. That's why they let Kerry Wood go to Cleveland in a deal for 3 minor league players. Plus, the Cubs sale hasn't gone through yet. That's very confusing to me, that side of it. I don't know what's taking so long. The Ricketts family is going to spend roughly $900 million to buy the Cubs, but he's trying to arrange financing with other people for minority ownership, and they have not yet been able to secure that financing in full.
I don't know why. It's such a great economy right now.
Yeah.
I think that people will be falling all over themselves.
That's spare change for you. You might want to give Sam Zell a call. Curveball in for a strike to Blanco.
Sam did call me.
He did call it well.
Yeah.
Did he say Mr. Simpson?
No. Wrong number.
Oh, yeah, gotcha.
I've got the wrong number.
But think about here, the Cubs in the 3rd largest media market, maybe the most marketable brand in the National League, and they too might struggle to add payroll. Tells you a lot. Two on, one out for Andres Blanco, and that's squibbed toward third. Chipper at the bag, fair ball, long throw, bad throw, it gets away. And now streaking for third is Soto. So Chipper got the force out at third base. Soto all the way around to third. Blanco to second. And there are 2 outs.
It's funny, what helped there was Soto got deked by his own teammate. Now Chipper steps on the bag here and forces Fontenot. The wild throw gets away, but now here comes Soto, and he breaks for third and stopped right there because he saw Fontenot. And he wasn't sure if Fontenot was on the base or not. Watch, he'll take off, and then, oh, that's right, he's out. And I'm not sure he would have been able to score, but he did come to a complete stop because he wasn't sure what Fontenot was doing.
Boy, the Braves got a break, too, that ball didn't go in the dugout. It didn't miss by much. And so down a run, runners second and third for Randy Wells, who's hitless as a Cub pitcher this year. Remember, a converted catcher, but he couldn't hit in the minor leagues. That's why they made him a pitcher.
He was catching in low A ball like once a week, like the Sunday day game. That's the only time he'd get to play, and he decided, you know what, I got to try something different.
Looping line drive. There's his first hit. Soto will score. Blanco stops. It's 2-0. First big league hit. And it drives in a run.
They're trying to get that baseball back from the ball boys over by the Braves on deck circle. Pitch down and away. Not a bad pitch. He just reached down and slapped it to right.
And now Mike Quade, the Cubs third base coach, is calling time, and he's pointing over to the bat boy, and he's reaching in looking for that game ball, and I believe the bat boy has it in his right hand. Hope he didn't throw it in the bag. All right, he'll give it to Brian Honora, the umpire, and that will go in the trophy case. Boy, that'd be a terrible mistake for the bat boy.
Well,
Wouldn't it?
It wasn't his fault. They rolled it out of play, and I think Alan Trammell was saying, wait a minute, that's not the ball. But it wasn't the ball boy's fault. He wasn't aware it was his first hit. They rolled the ball out of play, and he might have put it in the discarded bag.
So you might want to send that whole bag of baseballs over to the Cubs clubhouse and let Wells
let him pick.
Fish around. Yeah. Here's Soriano. His first home run in his last 13 games led off the game tonight. Yeah, being a bat boy is tough, I got to tell you.
You've been there. Soriano, one of the few players left in the game that hits with a closed stance.
And he hits it a mile high into left center field. Blanco at the edge of the track has enough room. He almost launched another one. A one-out walk and a two-base throwing error leads to a second Chicago run. 2-0 the score, middle of the second inning.
Fans, it's time for the know-how question of the game, built by the Home Depot. And if you have a question, send us an email, and if chosen, we'll answer it later in the game. Send your email to Braves@PeachtreeTV.com. Please include your name and where you're from. And don't forget, more saving, more doing. That's the power of Home Depot.
Well, a little power here would be nice with the heart of the order up for Atlanta. McCann, Anderson, and Martin Prado, 2-0. The Cubs have an early lead tonight. You mentioned Brian McCann on the road trip, but you mentioned Brian McCann since coming back from the disabled list. His average all the way up to .318 now, and it didn't take long to rise quickly, did it?
No, it didn't, and he's been very patient at the plate. He's had some calculated at-bats, let's say, where he has really worked the count.
High fly ball to right. Milton Bradley going back at the track. Just enough room to haul it in.
And he hit a couple of balls like that in Arizona that could easily have been home runs with just another foot or two, just like that. So even his outs have been hard. Got this one off the end of the bat just a little bit. It was that close.
Garrett Anderson, sporting a 9-game hit streak, stands in. He's approaching a milestone, just 3 hits away from a nice round number of 2,400 in his major league career. Derek Jeter of the Yankees the other day got over 2,600 hits for New York. And also that first National League home run for Anderson on the trip.
Yeah, he tomahawked one Sunday. Good high ball hitter.
Little pop. Drifting out Blanco. He's got good range at second base, doesn't he? 2 out.
That's the word on him. And he's played some shortstop too in the minor leagues. So he's a guy who can go left or right and has a good arm, but covers a lot of ground at second base, filling in.
Everything in the air so far tonight from Wells. And now Martin Prado. He's hitting .247. Last year, the Cubs beat the Braves 6 times in 6 tries.
And I don't mean just slip by them. They got clocked. The Cubs really jumped on Atlanta. I'll look up those scores again, but
do we have to?
Well, yes.
Okay.
10-5, 7-2,
ouch,
10-2,
ouch,
8-0,
ooh,
11-7, and one game that went 11 innings that the Cubs won 3-2 at Wrigley Field. That was the only close one.
So as our producer Glenn Diamond would say, Manish Tana.
Yes. He might also say good or bad.
1 ball, 2 strikes. The count to Prado. Braves looking for their first hit, first base runner in this game.
Saw Martin's average at .247. He had a bit of a rough month of May, but his at-bats came a little sporadically. Every time somebody got an injury, it seemed like he filled in. Infante, when he got hurt.
Another pop fly. This one into shallow center. And Fukudome is there, makes the catch. 6 up, 6 down for Wells and the Cubs, who lead by 2.
King in the Atlanta Center for Cosmetic Dentistry. Right down there behind the tarp. The place in Atlanta to get a beautiful smile is the Atlanta Center for Cosmetic Dentistry. It's a nice seat upgrade right down on the field.
And how about that panoramic view of the ballpark tonight?
Not a bad seat in the house.
And it's turning into a lovely evening after a very warm day here in Metro Atlanta. And the Cubs have their 2, 3, 4 hitters up. It's Ryan Theriot out of LSU to start. Yeah, Theriot and Fontenot. Last year, most of the time, the Cubs double play combo up the middle. They played together at LSU.
Names like Theriot and Fontenot, that sounds just about Bayou Bengal enough, doesn't it?
Popped up right side. Prado over near the Braves dugout, slowing now, takes a peek and has enough room. Here's Fukudome. Was the Central League MVP in Japan with Chunichi back in 2006. And partner, you mentioned how Lou Piniella really gave Fukudome a hard time at times last year. It's because he hit .217 after the All-Star break.
Well, he has picked up the pace this year and for a team now that really needs him. And in fact, as you see, hitting third in the lineup.
Chicago is hoping to get Ramirez back 6 weeks to 8 weeks. He has said he may have to have surgery on his shoulder, which he dislocated at the end of the year. I don't know. Have you ever separated a shoulder?
No.
And in talking to guys who have, how in the world is Ramirez going to have any kind of pop if that shoulder is going to be a concern?
If it's still loose, like when he tried to start the season with it this year and it wasn't working, he won't unless he gets it fixed. It'll keep popping out every time he dives for a ball.
McCann trying to hide those signs from Fukudome, who slaps one to left and right at Anderson. Garrett had him played well.
Looking back at that start against San Francisco, Chip, Kawakami walked 4 guys. 3 of those walks factored into innings in which the Giants scored, and tonight his 1 walk has factored in. So it's not hard to look back and see where some of his problems have either started or been compounded by walks. And that's the whole key to his success so far, cutting down on them.
And as you said at the start of the broadcast, too, he has gotten very little run support. So his margin for error is even smaller than maybe anybody else on the staff right now.
Through his first 9 starts, no question.
Talked about Derek Lee and wondered where his power went. Had a terrible wrist injury a couple of years ago, a fractured radius and ulna in 2006. And in talking to the Cubs about him, he's not hitting the mistakes anymore, either at home or on the road.
That's a drastic fall off for a guy who was one of the most feared hitters in the National League, both in average and in home runs.
Lee started out with the Padres, then went to the Marlins, now with the Cubs. And that pitch in his wheelhouse and fouled back.
Well, I forgot he was with the Padres.
Yeah, that's where he came up, yep. 1997 was a Padre. Traded for Kevin Brown. Who is a high school baseball coach in Macon these days. The pitch to Lee is off the plate.
Good for him.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Yeah, at the Braves Foundation Golf Tournament, ran into Jeff Treadway, and Jeff gave us the scouting report on Kevin Brown.
That's good. That's good that he's sharing his vast knowledge.
High pop. That'll scatter the bat boys. And Brian McCann is under it. Derek Lee pops out. And Kawakami has an easy third, down 2-0 at Turner Field. On the 8 o'clock hour in Atlanta, 2-0. The Cubs are in front. It's time for the AirTran Airways home run inning. One lucky fan will have a chance to win free airfare for two if the Braves hit a homer this inning. Visit PeachtreeTV.com/Braves for the official rules and enter for your chance to win. AirTran Airways, go. There's nothing stopping you. So far, it's been pretty easy for Randy Wells, hasn't it? That's his 16th pitch in tonight's game.
And one of the keys to the game I mentioned was going to be Braves' patience. They've never seen this guy before, but they're up there hacking. They're 0 for 6.
And Jeff in an 0-2 count. Hitting .250. Still without a home run since May 1st. 23 RBIs. And a 4 for 26 road trip. Derek Lee, nice play to his left. 7 straight by Wells, retired to start the game, and that was a gem.
Well, I know he's won some Gold Gloves. I know he's won more than one, and I want to say he's won 3. But that was a beauty right there. Yes, 3 Gold Gloves, 03, 05, and 07. And robbed Jeff of certain extra bases.
So the man that made the headlines today is up for the first time. That's Gregor Blanco, up from Gwinnett. Jordan Schaefer sent down to AAA before today's game. As you said in the opening commentary, not an altogether unsurprising move.
No, I'm just happy that Jordan has an opportunity to go down and get squared away. You know, his confidence can come back, working on some things and without the bright glare of the big leagues. I think in the long run it will help him, and he may not feel that way today, but in the long run it'll help him.
Remember, he'd never played a game in AAA before this season. He was trying to make that jump from AA ball to the big leagues, and after homering in his first plate appearance against the Phillies, it was a struggle for him after that just to make consistent contact. And for a guy whose major portion of his game is speed, that's not a recipe for an awful lot of success.
It's not, but you know, the same thing can be applied to Gregor. 99 strikeouts last year and 430 at bats. So he's got to cut down on those too if he's going to come up here this year and be a contributor. He's capable. He can swing the bat and he can run. But fewer strikeouts from him too.
2 balls, 2 strikes. There's a little patience you were talking about.
Yeah, he wasn't tearing it up at Gwinnett. I mean, just a 242 average, but Bobby Cox, Frank Wren know that he's capable.
And there's the first strikeout from Wells in the game. That's 8 men in a row. Remember, this guy pitching for the Cubs had a 1.8 ERA coming into play tonight.
He was their AAA pitcher of the year last year at Iowa, won 10 games, and got off to a great start with them again this year. Before he was called up, he was 3-0 this year.
And he's pitched so well in place of Rich Harden. They've been able to put Sean Marshall back in the bullpen. That's where he is tonight as Kawakami looks at a called strike.
He doesn't mess around either. Okay. It's funny, you hear of position players switching to be pitchers. You ever heard of a pitcher becoming, I guess Rick Ankiel would be one you'd think of that became a position player.
Mike Owings might consider it too if things don't go well for him on the mound. Nothing happening for the Braves in the third in our Airtran Airways home run inning of the game. Please register at PeachtreeTV.com/Braves for the official rules and your chance to win.
Solid. Tonight's category, Major League strikeout leaders. Through games of last night, the Marlins on top of the list, but the Cubs and Braves there in the top 5 as well. That Marlins team, boy, that's a tough one to figure, isn't it? The Dodgers are just playing gangbuster baseball. You kind of not surprised by that, but Florida with all that offense and the way they started the season with so much good pitching, it looked like they were just going to walk away with this division when we saw them in April.
Yeah, they look great. They started 11-1, remember.
Yeah.
Marlins did. Since then, they are 13-27 coming into tonight's play. And you mentioned the Dodgers. Remember, they're without Manny Ramirez. We had a chance before the game to vote for Player of the Month, Rookie of the Month, etc. How about the job Juan Pierre has done? He's a guy that was kicked to the curb for the last 2 years by the Dodgers, and every time they've needed him, he's come in and played great baseball for them.
Yeah, and I know you did too, but I voted for him for Player of the Month for what he's done. Had a high average for May, scored a ton of runs for them, and really helped give them a shot in the arm with Manny's absence.
And Manny won't be back until, I believe, July 3rd. Yeah, July 3rd it is. And then again, once he comes back, Juan Pierre will have a chance to sit next to Joe Torre, and Joe will tell him, boy, Juan, you did a great job. Thanks so much.
Thanks for coming.
Wonder if they'd trade him. I know he's got a huge contract. But the way he's played, man, he'd be a tempting guy to go after if you're looking for a leadoff man.
I can't imagine they would deal him. Not after what he's doing. He's too good an insurance policy.
Yeah, he said in an interview yesterday how unhappy he was last year. but has been forced by circumstance to accept his fate. And he's a professional. He knows the dice. He's their 4th best outfielder. But with their best suspended, he now becomes their 3rd best, which means he gets a chance to play every day. So you can't pout. You got to perform.
You always like it when you see a guy take advantage of an opportunity.
And he's one of those guys, too, it seems, that when you talk about his game, the first thing they focus on is what Juan Pierre can't do. Well, he doesn't have the greatest arm, and he doesn't have the greatest range. That's a good hitter. Kelly Johnson has to hurry. Bradley is out by a quarter step, and he might have twisted an ankle or banged that knee running hard down the line. Not what the Cubs want to see. Milton Bradley hobbling back to the third base dugout.
You could smell a base hit on this chopper off the plate. Kelly with a quick flip over to Prado. And maybe lunging for the bag there for that last half step. Cost Milton Bradley. Striding it out pretty good here. That step right before the bag looked like he pulled up. I don't know if he strained a muscle or not.
And straight down the tunnel goes the oft-injured Milton Bradley. Here's Fontenot at an infield hit. His first time up. 2-0. Cubs lead it. We're in the 4th.
Speaking of opportunity, another guy that for this Cubs team that's taken advantage of an opportunity finally is Bobby Scales. Quite a story.
Had a chance to talk to him before the ball game. Scales, an 11-year minor league veteran, lives in Alpharetta. And I'll give you folks at home 20,000 guesses as to what Bobby Scales has been doing when he's not been playing baseball.
And you wouldn't get it.
Popped up to the left side and foul. Of course, Dr. No knows everything, Hal Galima. But yes, Bobby Scales is a substitute high school teacher at Milton High School. And do you know who one of his pupils was? As that high school substitute teacher? Hal, you can't answer. We just saw him on the last homestand. Dexter Fowler of the Rockies.
It's a great story.
And there's a called third. That's 6 in a row by Kawakami. And his first strikeout of the game. Braves baseball on Peachtree TV in HD is brought to you by the Georgia Aquarium. There's always something new at the world's largest aquarium. Visit GeorgiaAquarium.org.
That got everybody's attention, didn't it?
Every time the Braves pitching staff records a strikeout, they have added, as we have been handed, a quote iconic new element to the Major League Baseball experience. Some pyrotechnics and a little, what would you call that? A shooting flame of fireworks above the gas south sign?
Yeah, a giant sparkler goes off up there above the gas south sign to highlight the moment of the strikeout. Kind of ties in with flamethrowers.
Yeah, which the Braves have a few of. There's another one. 1 ball, 1 strike. That's slicing down the right field line. So we have the iconic cow in left, the iconic fireworks in right, and of course the iconic Coca-Cola bottle. Right. And the always ironic Hal Galima in the booth next to you. Fisted toward Chipper at third. He handles a tricky hop. And he takes care of Soto. Well, Kawakami's settling in. He's retired 7 straight men. Needs a little offensive help, however, as the Braves still without a hit.
tonight. Cubs on top 2-0. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Here's tonight's Toyota Tacoma trivia question. What was the last year that Chipper Jones hit more than 30 home runs? The last year that Chipper hit more than 30 home runs. We'll have the answer for you in the next inning. A couple of defensive changes. Reed Johnson will take over in center, and Fukudome moves to right. And as soon as we get any information on what happened to Milton Bradley as he was hustling down the line, we'll let you know.
Yeah, and that's the unfortunate part of it. Bradley has been playing very hard for this Cubs team. Not always effectively, but he was hustling down the line, trying to beat out that infield chopper, and he hit the bag awkwardly and is lost for the rest of this game as the Braves go through the order the second time now through Randy Wells, who has thrown a ton of first pitch strikes.
Missed there to Kelly, but he's 8 out of 10.
And he's thrown only 29 pitches in this game. His 30th is thumbed to third. And Fontenot, a good play, 1 out.
There's been a lot of that so far, too. A lot of left-handed hitters that have been getting jammed. And I don't know if he's throwing a cutter that's biting in on their hands, but some guys that can't get the barrel of the bat to the ball.
Well, what did Nuke LaLoosh say in Bull Durham? Don't think, just throw. And meant with no offense to Wells, as you said, he's getting it, grabbing it, and getting rid of it.
Well, you also got to breathe through your eyelids, and maybe he's doing a little of that too.
You know, I didn't think of that.
Pretty important.
Here's Escobar, who popped out his first time. You know, every now and then, when the Braves are on the short end of a ball game, times like this, there's always a fan somewhere who screams out at the quietest moment in a ball game that the opposing pitcher is doing something special. Is that one in on the hands of Escobar, and he goes down in a heap. Jeff Porter is on his way out.
Escobar got hit last year by the Cubs after there got to be a little back and forth affair between Ted Lilly and Soriano. I'm not sure where that got him.
We heard the click.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what it hit. It hit the bat.
Looked like it hit the bat. Definitely looked like it hit the bat.
Oh!
I think that was a break in more ways than one.
That it didn't hit him and hurt him. I think Lou Pinella's asking, are you sure that hit him, Larry?
Well, if in our opinion it hit the bat, and it did, Nell's playing this to the hilt.
Polish up the Emmy.
Yeah. Well done.
And so now, first time in this game, Wells will have to go to the stretch. Sometimes that has an effect on a pitcher, as well as the fans yelling at him when he has a no-hit bid. Seen it 1,000 times. Here's Chipper, who flied out to left his first time.
Always seems to rattle the pitcher, too, when he hears that, because he usually didn't even know he had a no-hitter going.
To play foul for a strike. And it's never when, there's the bugle music playing or...
The smart fans are the ones that wait till there's a little bit of quiet, a little calm, so the pitcher can hear them.
Yeah, it shakes me up too. It's just so loud from the upper reaches of the ballpark. I mean, you can almost see the pitcher flinch when that happens too. It's shocking to him.
I love it when they do it.
Maybe it'll happen here in this fourth inning with the big boppers up for Atlanta. Chipper, then McCann, runner at first. Boy, he was fooled there, wasn't he? That's a major league pitch, 0-2.
Sinker slider. pretty good sinking action there. Might have taken a little off his fastball too.
Hard hit ball to second. There's one. There's two. Double play. The perfect game bid is by the boards for Wells, but still a no-hitter intact. That ball was scorched. But Blanco to Terrio to Lee sends us to the 5th inning, down a pair.
And get service nationwide for 5 straight years. Check into Jameson Inns and experience our new Pillow Top premium beds and the best in Southern hospitality. Jameson Inns, you deserve a new deal.
It's 2-0 game. That last line that you see on that scoreboard is of great concern. No runs and no hits for Atlanta as Cubs catcher Giovanni Soto guiding Randy Wells through 4 innings of nearly perfect baseball. And frankly, he should still have a perfect game as he was charged with a hit batsman. But our replays clearly showed that that ball hit Escobar's bat. And now Andres Blanco leads things off for the Cubs. 7 straight retired by Kenshin Kawakami. And this inning's pitch speed is brought to you by AM/PM. AM/PM. Too much good stuff. Ground ball hit toward Kelly, and from the cut of the outfield grass retires Blanco. 8 in a row now. Set down by Kenshin. Here's Wells, who picked up his first big league hit and his first big league RBI with a run-scoring 2nd inning single.
Just slapped one to right field on a pitch that didn't even look like a strike. Yeah, Kawakami's settling in. He just has to have some runs to work with.
But like Tinker to Evers to Chance, that is the sad refrain for Kawakami over and over again. Needs some runs to work with.
Yeah, I hadn't really put those two together. But
well, not many do.
Just in keeping, yeah.
That's why you have all that gray hair, buddy, 45 times a year. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Only the good ones.
Hey, this is an important month for the Braves, by the way. As you know, interleague play is underway. The Yankees and the Red Sox are coming to town. And the newly engaged Beth Marshall wanted us to let the fans at home know that Fans looking to buy single game tickets for that Yankees and Red Sox series, they will go on sale tomorrow at noon. And there again are those pyrotechnics in right. And once again, just a little late. Anyway,
we'll get it.
It's new to us too, folks.
Yeah.
You can log on to Braves.com/tickets or call 800-745-3000. Ask for Beth Marshall personally. She'll be happy to fill your ticket request for the Yankees and Red Sox. Tickets, single game tickets, go on sale tomorrow.
They've moved that up, let everybody have a better chance of getting some of those tickets, and it all starts at noon tomorrow.
And folks, the Yankees are swinging it. They lead the Red Sox by a full game in the East entering play tonight. Another towering fly ball to left center. He got under another one. 10 in a row retired by Kenshin Kawakami. Braves need a hit. I think I've said that before. 2-0 your score.
The fifth, here's tonight's Toyota Tacoma trivia question. Answer. What was the last year that Chipper hit more than 30 home runs? I would say 2007. That's might be wrong. Might be 2004. 2001. Okay. 38 dingers that year. I think he hit 29 2 years ago. So I'm a little short.
And Chipper this year has 5 in the first 2 months of the 09 season. Let's see if, again, Brian McCann can get something going. No hits for Atlanta, although McCann hit one off the end of the bat and sent Milton Bradley to the front of the Braves bullpen his first time up. Oh, hey, did you hear that? Did you hear that guy?
I did. Hopefully that'll work.
Man, well, he's taking a lot more time to throw that pitch. Not this time. Soriano and left. Now, does the effect wear off if it's done more than a couple of times in a game, or?
Oh, if like a guy on the first base side does it, and a guy on the third base side, usually a little.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
So if the fans are somehow watching at the ballpark in the luxury suites, we don't want you to get carried away with that no-hitter stuff. curses. One out from McCann. And now Garrett Anderson, the batter, and word has come from the Chicago training room. Another leg injury for Milton Bradley. And the word is
right calf strain.
Slide into center. Reed Johnson checked in an inning ago. Handles his first chance. 2 out. A lot of fly balls from Wells in a big ballpark. You can get away with that.
Only thrown 40 pitches.
And that's a real quandary for an offensive player, isn't it? You want to be patient, but you may not see another good pitch to hit.
Well, that may be true in some cases. I think especially against a hard thrower, if a guy is just blowing you away and you think, you know what, if I get something good early in the count, I got to jump on it because I may not get another chance. But with a sinker slider guy who has to rely on control, and he had walked 7 in 25 innings, you figure he's going to be around the plate. Just because you take a pitch and it's strike one doesn't mean you're doomed.
Yeah, you got to be willing to hit behind the count.
Yeah, he's going to be around the plate. He can't strike you out with the first pitch. At least that's what I've been told.
1 ball, 2 strikes. If that were the case, we'd have a lot faster games.
We would. Tinkers to Evers to Chance, I think. Even back in those days, they got 3 strikes.
Really?
Here's a case with Martin in the count 1 and 2. He doesn't have the luxury of being patient. He's got to guard the plate and try to put it in play. I heard another guy. Good swing there.
It's catching on, isn't it?
He's sweeping the ballpark. Maybe that's what it'll take. Get one right here from Martin. Pretty good fastball. One of his best of the night. 92.
And moving.
I think he's throwing. He's cutting that ball a little bit. That one ran away from Martin some, and it tied up Chipper earlier tonight. Jammed a couple of lefties.
Wow, words that are weighty mean nothing but trouble. Randy Wells has a no-hitter through 5. 2-0 Chicago.
Is presented by authority of the Atlanta Braves and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Atlanta Braves.
2-0 as we go to the top of the 6th. Brian McCann was having a conversation with Brian O'Nora, the home plate umpire, I believe, about this call that looked to be well off the plate and called a strike. Brian backed out. Might have said something during the at-bat, but came out to catch, and kind of an elongated conversation here, perhaps about that pitch, because it did look like a ball.
It was a civil conversation, but certainly Brian trying to make his point as Ryan Theriot to work, and Hal Galima, our great stat man, noticed, as did we, Brian's gone back to wearing the glasses behind the plate. When I last saw you in the ball club, he was not wearing the glasses while catching.
Yeah, well, that was last month.
Yes, that's a good point. By the way, I'm Chip. I haven't seen you in a while.
Jose Simon.
Yes.
No, he started wearing because he's got two different sets of glasses. One to catch in, one to hit in. And he started that on the last road trip. And he says that the ones that he catches in are a little bigger. There's a little bigger bubble to them, if you will, that I think allows a little more airflow in there to prevent the fogging that he'd had trouble with before.
2 balls and a strike to Theriot. And that one splits the gap in right center field. Can Francoeur get there? Yes. That ball was hit hard. Jeff had to run a long way, and a tip of the cap from Kawakami for his 11th straight Cub hitter retired.
Theriot went with that pitch pretty well. Hit it a lot farther to the opposite field than I thought he could hit it. Good range by Francoeur.
Well, so far, the former Chunichi Dragon teammates, Kawakami and Fukudome, the advantage has gone to the Braves right-hander. He has held Fukudome down to a tap out to the mound and a fly ball to left, 0-2.
Probably get together for a little dinner after the ball game, though.
Yeah, I would think so. I can't imagine how hard it must be for players to come from Japan or Korea, the Dominican Republic for that matter, come to the United States, play in the major leagues, deal not only with the difficulties of playing at the highest level of our sport, but deal with all the cultural differences that have to slap them square in the face day after day.
There are a lot more Latin and Spanish-speaking players than there are Japanese or Korean. I remember, however, that Eddie Perez tells a story. I think his first full year in baseball, he was sent to a team in Class A where there were no other Spanish-speaking players. And he said, and I didn't speak any English at the time, and how hard it was on him to try to figure out going to the grocery store and buying food and just general away from the ballpark activities.
You think of Kawakami, and I'm sure the Cubs as well. They have translators that are around every day. As a 2-2 count to Fukudome, and that one ticketed to short, and Escobar can't corral it. And Fukudome aboard. We'll see how that scored. That was played a little oddly, it appeared.
Yeah, almost like it took a funny hop on him. He even made an odd dive for it. Like you were slicing back to him, and he was starting to go down to get it, and didn't go far enough. Maybe it hit and shot to the right on him.
Still no ruling. Fukudome aboard with one out for Derek Lee. He's grounded out and popped out. But it's got to be, obviously, it's incredibly rewarding for these guys to come over to the United States. They're paid handsomely. But it's got to be an awfully lonely lifestyle and existence when, as you said, there's maybe one other person in your traveling party for 6 months with whom you deal day after day after day.
I think you just hit it right on the nose. Lonely. Trying to find some people who have common interests, not to mention common language as you, in a town that doesn't have a huge Asian population in Atlanta.
1 ball, no strikes. And that's belt high to Derek Lee, and he's got a big strike zone. He's 6'5" and could have played hoops at North Carolina, but decided to play baseball instead. Hard hit ball. That's fair and down the left field line. Chipper couldn't get it. Fukudome cuts the bags well. He's around third. Gets the green light. Secondary cutoff man. Throw is not in time. He got the back door. The base running of Fukudome appeared to be the difference. He cut the bag beautifully at second and again at third and scores the third run of this game.
Right over the bag, too. Anderson got the ball in. He overthrows Escobar, though, and it goes to Kelly Johnson, who tried to make like a double play turn to get the ball quickly to Brian McCann, but a slide by Fukudome was the difference. He got the bare hand in there, going around Brian McCann, and then ran right into the shin guard of Brian O'Nora. That had to hurt, too. Fukudome's leg kind of leg whipped into the shin guard.
So Fukudome was credited with a single, comes home on the lead double. 20th RBI for the Cubs first baseman. And now Chicago leads 3-0, and Reed Johnson the batter. Remember, he took over for Milton Bradley, who left with a calf problem. Last year the Cubs with Reed Johnson and Jim Edmonds had a real nice center field platoon. And Reed's been one of their hotter hitters and may get some more playing time if Bradley misses significant innings.
He's a good player.
There's that big curveball, 2 balls and a strike.
A difference perhaps in this relay, Chip, is that as good an arm as Kelly Johnson has, it's not as good as Yunel Escobar. That ball had that throw had a little hump on it from Garrett Anderson, and if he hits Escobar, I think they got a legitimate chance at getting Fukudome. That's when you got to hit that relay guy.
Little pop, shallow left. That's going to find some grass. Nice job by Escobar to deke Derek Lee into thinking he might catch it. Derek was only able to go halfway and not score on that blue pit, but the Cubs have him first and third now, 1 out.
And he got jammed badly. But you could see Escobar, you're right, Chip, running out there with his glove in the air like he had a beat on it.
Fontenot 1 for 2 with an infield hit.
One area that the Cubs could improve on that would help them a great deal in terms of scoring runs is getting a guy in from third less than 2 out. Only 42% of the time. That's horrible as a team.
Braves bullpen starting to stir as the phone begins to ring out there. Kawakami up to 83 pitches. The game started inauspiciously for him. A leadoff home run by Alfonso Soriano. An unearned run across in the second. Now big time trouble here in the sixth. Fontenot makes some contact into right center field. That should be deep enough to score Derek Lee. And Chicago does improve on that number you just mentioned, and they add to their lead of 4-0 now.
'21st RBI for Fontenot, and he did just that. Got something he could hit to the outfield. Bobby Cox would love to get Kawakami through this inning.
for his spot in the Braves batting order is due up third in the 6th inning. You'd hate to have to use 2 spots for 1 move. And Giovanni Soto stands between Kawakami and the end of this top of the 6th. And ball 1 misses low and outside.
Chicago's played a lot better at Wrigley Field than they have on the road. Just a 9-14 record on the road. Trying to improve on that tonight.
There's a shot to left. Hard hit ball by Soto, but that ends the inning. 2 more runs on 3 more hits. Is that all for Kawakami tonight? We shall see. Braves being no hit, trail it 4-0 in the 6th.
We go to the bottom of the 6th. Let's take a look at the Braves' upcoming schedule, brought to you by CHN Airways. Go! There's nothing stopping you. And you know about this long homestand. The Braves are going to try to capitalize on this opportunity tomorrow night back here on Peachtree TV at 7 o'clock. And the final game of the Cubs series Thursday. Also a 7:10 first pitch with Sports South having that game. John Shambi and I will have that for you. 2 games on Peachtree TV for the Brewers. Then on Sunday, Fox Sports South will have the game at 1 o'clock, or 1:35, I beg your pardon. It'll be on the air at 1 with the pregame show.
Francoeur late. Wells still pumping gas.
Oh, it's high octane right now.
He has struck out 3. He's had only 1 man reach. It was a hit batsman of Escobar in the 4th, but our replays showed relatively clearly that ball hit the bat, not the hand or anything else.
And talk about a big stink if this turns out to be a no-hitter and that's the only runner to reach. I don't think that'll happen. Braves about to put together a big inning here.
Every time the everybody clap your hands thing comes on the scoreboard, good things happen, and it just did. And first time tonight I can remember, 3-1 count.
Yeah. Here's that play. Looked like it got Unell in the hand, may have gotten him in the head, but watch the above the hands on the bat. That hit the bat a good 3 or 4 inches above his hands.
Little fly ball. Will that ball drop? No. Fukudome is there. 1 out. Here's Blanco. He struck out his first time. Braves have their work cut out for them. They have not come back to win a game in which they've trailed by 4 runs or more this year. The last time they did it was last August. It's 4-0 tonight. Greg Norton in the on-deck circle as Blanco takes the strike. We talked in our opening comments, Joe, about looking for offensive consistency. Can't find two more diametrically opposed offensive efforts than Sunday in Arizona and tonight against the Cubs.
Well, it goes back even a couple of games before that, Chip, that I think is kind of a snapshot of the season. They beat the Diamondbacks 10-6 on Friday night, and their last run came in the 4th inning. Then they didn't score for the last 5 innings of that game. Got only 2 the next day on Saturday and lost. And then come back on Sunday and score 9 runs on 15 hits. Back the other way tonight. Zeros. When the Braves score 4 or more runs, they're 22-5. When they score 3 or fewer, they're 3-20.
So 23 times this year they've scored 3 runs or less.
Yep.
Not good. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And again, when you talk about how your manager puts together his lineup, how your general manager puts together his roster, I would assume that it's extremely difficult to do that when you really don't know what kind of club you're going to get, not only from game to game, but inning to inning.
Braves doing a good job of stepping out on Wells right now as he continues to try to work fast and quick pitch these guys. But it's not just that, Chip. It's also lineup to lineup. I mean, the guys, are in and out of the lineup with injuries, and they can't keep their front line 8 in there on a consistent basis.
That's popped up left side. Fontenot, plenty of room and foul ground. Blanco retired. 2 outs. Greg Norton for Kawakami. Actually, Norton called back now.
Bennett was throwing. Looks like he just sat down as well. I don't know if this is just an effort to save a hitter or not because of the injury to Kochman. Kawakami has pinch hit twice this year. Could be he's just pinch hitting for himself. Let's see if he stays in the game to pitch.
58 pitches for Wells. He's 1 out away from taking this one to the 7th. Now he's 1 pitch away, 0-2.
How Galima looked it up for us, because the Braves have a lot of spikes on their offense where they've scored 10 runs.
Look out.
Yeah, Kelly and the Bad Boys. Here's the number of runs the Braves have scored. The last 5 times they've scored 10 or more runs. In the following game they scored 2, 2, 0, 2, and 2.
Lots of 2s, O's, and 2s in that list.
So you mentioned inconsistency. That kind of spells it out right there, not being able to follow one big game with another.
Look, you got to go into each game with the best 25 guys that day, so you can't use injuries as an excuse. But I would wonder how many times Bobby has had 1 through 8 the way he's wanted to have it this year. I'll bet it's not more than 10 times.
I bet it's not either.
Look out. Did he go around? No, he didn't. The Cubs thought Kawakami swung at that ball.
Bat never really got extended other than when his body went around, and it wasn't quite as close as he made it look.
Neither was that. 3 up, 3 down. Wells a no-hitter. It's getting serious now, folks. We go to the 7th.
of Coca-Cola. Where else but the world of Coca-Cola could jog a 7-foot-tall polar bear? Take home a free 8-ounce glass bottle of Coke produced on site and taste over 60 different beverages from around the world. Make plans to visit the world of Coca-Cola today.
And time for tonight's Home Depot know-how question. It comes from Tim McLean in Atlanta, who wants to know, what does the sign "No Pepper Games" mean in baseball stadiums? And you see that occasionally behind home plate, and you're right, Tim. It's kind of a lost art, but pepper used to be a game ball clubs played a lot before the game, where there might be 3 or 4 guys lined up and a guy just bunting the ball back to him, tapping it back to him, if you will, and that game was called pepper. And groundskeepers used to hate pepper being played right behind home plate or on the grass because it would tear up the grass they were working so hard to try to take care of.
We have a delay here. Brian Onora, the home plate umpire, has left the field of play for a moment. And now Fieldon Culbreth heads into the Atlanta dugout as the Cubs come up here in the top half of our 7th inning. And Kawakami is going to stay in the game for Atlanta, down 4 runs with the lower portion of the Cubs order up.
Well, here comes Brian. Good to see that he's okay. While we have a second, let's talk about the umpire situation and the confrontation between Carlos Zambrano of the Cubs and Mark Carlson a few days ago, in which Zambrano was suspended. He was suspended for 6 games, and it doesn't do anything. It doesn't hurt the Cubs at all. He was supposed to pitch tonight. Instead, he'll pitch in 2 days. So he serves a suspension, 6 games, and he'll pitch in 2 days. No harm, no foul. What a ridiculous suspension by Major League Baseball that didn't even cost him a start.
Well, how ridiculous was his tirade again? Line drive. That one almost picked off Gary Cederstrom, the second base umpire. Big turn by Andres Blanco, and he'll throw out an anchor. Look, Carlos Zambrano is a great pitcher. There's no denying that. He's a Cy Young candidate, but sooner or later he's got to grow up, doesn't he? I mean, look at this.
Well, he even bumped the umpire here, and that's what caused the ejection. And then he went crazy, not only on the field, but off the field. He got 6 games, act like a 2-year-old, and he's not even going to miss a start. Come on.
Now look at this. He almost hits his pitching coach as Wells lays down the bunt. He destroyed the Gatorade machine in the dugout. That's being taken out, by the way. Not that it already wasn't, but you know,
there was no appeal. There was no appeal because the Cubs looked at this. Zambrano looked at this and went, "Oh, okay, yeah, we'll take that." Because instead of starting tonight, he starts tomorrow night. If you're gonna punish pitchers, you've got to suspend them for 10 days so that they miss at least 1 start. You got to make sure they miss 1.
I agree wholeheartedly with that.
And he shouldn't have missed just 1. He should have missed 2 for that nonsense.
And wouldn't you say too, if you want to stop the nonsense like you're talking about? First Soriano hits. He's hit the ball in the air 3 times. Once it left the park. Why is it? Maybe I'm draconian, but I would say if you're going to appeal a suspension, if you lose, your suspension's double. You get a 4-game suspension. You want to appeal it? Fine. You lose?
No, I don't agree with that one. Because there are times where you're going to be wronged and be justifiable in your appeal.
That's what I'm saying. If you win the appeal, then you don't have anything to worry about.
Typically, you don't win your appeal; they just reduce the suspension anyway.
I mean, that ridiculous. Why not just say it's 4 games? Period. Your appeal? No, you get 4 games. I mean, what's the whole point?
You know, there's an appeal process in there that allows for the guys through the basic agreement. I'm guessing.
Well, I think you're right.
That system.
I get it,
but what they did with the Zambrano situation is really embarrassing. I don't know who's in charge of that, but that was not well thought out and quite ridiculous.
I would assume it's Bob Watson's office, if not Bob himself. I don't know.
I'm not picking on anybody. I'm saying it was ridiculous by the office that they didn't think it out better.
Well, the Gatorade people were happy. They got a lot of free pub with the shot of that machine taking all that punishment. Another fly ball off the bat of Soriano. And no tag as Blanco has to hold.
I think there was also a $3,000 fine along with it.
Yes.
Which is pocket change for him. And if you really want to get his attention, if you really want to start getting him to stop these tirades.
Well, he had one against.
You're going to have to do more than what they did.
Well, he had one against the Braves a couple years ago. Remember, that was the day he snapped.
Michael Barrett
got in a fight with Michael Barrett in the clubhouse. And look, we're not just picking on Carlos Zambrano. I think it's safe to say we're tired. Well, I mean, this is the big leagues. You know, there are kids that are watching.
Yeah, act like it.
Some kid's going to do that in the little league someplace. That's terrible. Tired too. Here's Terrio.
But I think it should apply to any pitcher who has an incident with an umpire where he bumped him like he did Carlson, that you're going to miss at least one start, if not two. If it's a position player and you miss 5 games and you're an everyday player, you're missing 5 games.
Yeah, you miss a week.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah. I'm with you. I agree 100% on that.
Okay, I'm done.
Hal, you can have your soapbox back. 1 count. Swing and a miss. It just so happens that you're right. And as we saw from that video, and I don't want to show it again if we can avoid it, but Larry Rothschild's lucky he wasn't hitting the head with that bat or a piece of that machine, and that would have been even more disgraceful. There's Larry. Longtime pitching coach with the Cubs. Ground ball right side. Prado slips. Kawakami, a nice play to the bag. And it's time to stretch. Well, Gramps, I'm going to call on you now. Let's get some runs. Or at least a couple hits. 4-0 your score.
One o'clock, the first 10,000 fans will get a 1980s retro cap, just like the one Dale Murphy wore, presented by Napa. For the best price on single game tickets, visit Braves.com/tickets or call 1-800-745-3000. That's the last game of that Pirates series. And again, it's a business fan special at 1 o'clock.
Braves assistant athletic trainer Jim Lovell out talking with Brian Onora. Maybe he's got a little dehydrated. Looks like he's pounding down the electrolyte drinks on this hot night. We've told you earlier it's been unseasonably warm after a very chilly month of May. A hot, muggy night in Atlanta. And Onora had to leave the field of play an inning ago or so to sit in the air conditioning, I'm guessing. And now the electrolyte drinks to make sure he's all right.
Yeah, I got to keep an eye on him. It is a warm, muggy night. but honestly, the nicest night we've had here at Turner Field in some time.
So here we go to the Braves half of the 7th inning. Top of the order is coming up. Randy Wells has faced the minimum through 6. He's allowed 1 base runner. That was Escobar, who was doubled up by Chipper Jones. And he has yet to give up a hit. And here is your Georgia Lottery scorecard, brought to you by the Georgia Lottery. Today could be the day. Not much positive on those line scores tonight.
Been a couple of hard hit balls, one by Kelly leading off the game, another by McCann in the 2nd inning when he backed Milton Bradley up to the bullpen gate. But other than that, not too many tough chances for the defense.
First pitch popped up. One pitch, 1 out, 7th inning.
That's 11 outs by pop-up or fly ball.
He must feel like he's pitching in a ballpark where the fences are a mile away. Much different here than Wrigley.
Hasn't had to go to too many deep counts. I think Prado had the only 3-ball count on him that I can remember.
And another first pitch strike.
And he's mixing his pitches well. Not only is he just throwing first pitch fastball strike, that was a slider.
Braves bullpen is busy with Chipper Jones on deck. And an off-speed pitch, broken bat, fly ball to left. Soriano is there, 2 out.
Good reports from the Rome Ball Club tonight. Tom Glavine at last report 5 innings of 3-hit shutout ball, no walks, 2 strikeouts.
And Bobby Cox has moved from his usual perch near the Braves on deck circle to the far end of the Atlanta dugout to try to get something going against Wells.
That's his way of saying, hey, you got a no-hitter.
Yes. It'd be uncouth for him to scream.
Yes.
He doesn't have a no-hitter anymore. What an effort by Wells. A no-hit bid into the 7th. Chipper breaks it up. And now Brian McCann. And somebody's giving it to Chipper Jones. Maybe it's Derek Lee.
It was Derek Lee. As soon as Chipper got to 2nd and Lee got over there, he gave him an elbow to the chest. Nothing to beef about there. There's Derek Lee with that jab.
So that part of the pressure's off. Now Atlanta's got to come back and try to win the game. Bryant's hit the ball in the air twice tonight. And the Cubs, knowing of Chipper Jones' foot problems and knowing Atlanta's down 4 runs, have the luxury of playing behind him here, which gives Derek an extra second or 2 if McCann pulls the ball down the line.
Neither one of these teams run much at all. The Cubs 13th in the league with 23 stolen bases. The Braves tied at 15th with just 11.
Little squibber. That's tough play for Fontenot, but he makes it. And the side is retired. Wells loses his no-hit bid. A clean single by Chipper Jones. And it's 4-0 after 7.
The Cradle, Thursday at 9 on Peachtree TV.
That was a very scary role for Rebecca De Mornay. Not nearly as much fun as Risky Business.
No, but a good flick.
Yes. As you see, Manny Acosta on for the 5th time. He's done a good job in the pen.
He's come up throwing strikes. That was the knock on him last year, was that he just was always going to deep counts and throwing too many pitches. No walks in his 4 appearances so far. 2 strikeouts. Hold him right there.
Kawakami, 7 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned, a walk, 2 strikeouts, and a homer. But again, no support with the bats tonight. And a 1-hop rocket back to the mound and takes care of Fukudome. Good play, 1 out.
Second time he's done that tonight. He did it in the 1st inning and got robbed by Kawakami.
Guess he likes to take the ball up the middle. Huh?
I'd say so. That was headed for center field. Won 2 batting titles with Junichi. 343 in 2002 at 351 in 06.
Nice night for Derek Lee of the Cubs. 1 for 3 with an RBI double and a run scored. And Derek takes ball 1 high. Brewers are getting beat tonight. Cardinals are winning over Cincinnati, so a chance for Chicago to gain some ground. Mets are losing tonight. I think that was Johan Santana on the mound for New York. Pirates are beating them 3-1. The Phillies are out west against the Padres later.
Jake Peavy going tonight.
Final numbers in for Tommy?
Yeah, 6 innings, 3 hits, no runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts, and then threw 65 pitches in 6 innings. That's not too bad.
Yeah.
That's moving right along.
Now, is this going to be his last rehab assignment?
I would guess. Medlin is still scheduled to pitch in his next turn, and Chris looked really good Sunday. Medlin penciled in on Saturday against Milwaukee. We'll have to wait and see.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Derek Lee unloads to straightaway center. Blanco back, and that ball rockets out of here. Oh man, did Derek Lee hit a laser to center.
Fastball to the outside third of the plate, came back to him, was able to get fully extended. And 2 home runs to almost the identical place in deep right center by Soriano and now Derek Lee.
Lee had 1 RBI in the last 2 weeks. He has 2 RBIs in game 1 of this series. And for the Cubs, that is a most encouraging sign. He took a bullet of a fastball and hit it to the deepest part of the park. A check swing roller by Reed Johnson. Acosta will take it himself. 2 out.
I was looking at my scorecard here, and I was thinking about how the little things have gone the way for the Cubs that's enabled them to get a 5-run lead. For example, the error by Chipper that allowed the inning to continue, the lack of a good relay that might have prevented at least 1 run from scoring in the 6th inning. But the bottom line is, even erase all that, there's 2 solo homers. That's 2-0. The weight shifts over to the Braves offense and lack of it, because it doesn't matter how much the Cubs have scored tonight. It's been enough, unless Atlanta figures out a way to score.
And what was that number again? And Braves scoring 3 runs or less, 23
and 20.
Yeah, so tonight would be the 24th time that that's happened. And so as you evaluate this Braves ball club at the 50-game mark, I said earlier, this isn't its early time. This is your ball club. I mean, you have a pretty good idea of what your team can do and cannot do and doesn't do or does do well. This is not a very powerful team, I think it's fair to say. This is not a very fast team, I think it's fair to say. And it's also a very inconsistent team offensively, I think it's fair to say.
Yeah, I think all that's accurate. What can you do about it? Well, we'll see.
And that's cut on and missed by Mike Fontenot. A solo home run for Derek Lee. A little icing on the cake for the Cubs tonight. They've hit a couple of solo home runs. One by Soriano, one by Derek Lee. The two big poppers for the Cubs have come through in a 5-run game. Well, this isn't going to be an easy homestand for the Braves as they mosey into National League Central Division competition. You've got the Chicago Cubs, then you have the first place Brewers, and then you've got Pirates with all that good young pitching coming in next. And of concern for this Atlanta club has to be their play at home. The Braves come in a game under 500 at Turner Field so far this year. And down 5-0 tonight for Garrett Anderson. That ball hammered down the right field line, and that's fair. It's gone. It is a line drive bullet. There's one. There goes the shutout. Second Atlanta hit. That one leaves the park. It's 5-1.
Second in 2 games for Garrett. And again, a pitch above the belt that he just tomahawked down the line. And that'll open it up a little bit.
Garrett has a smile as he goes deep. And now the big crowd trying to spur the Braves on again in the 8th inning. The Cubs have had some bullpen issues. A lot of youngsters down there. They don't have Kerry Wood closing anymore. They have Kevin Gregg, the former Marlins closer, and Carlos Marmol is now their setup man. They had a spirited battle at the end of spring training to see who would win the 9th inning job, and Gregg is that man. Randy Wells started his major league career with 16 1/3 scoreless innings. His first big league inning came with Toronto. They took him in the Rule 5 draft. He pitched 1 inning. Cubs got him back. And here he is.
Isn't that interesting? They thought enough of him to draft him in the Rule 5 draft, but didn't like what they saw. And if you draft a guy in the Rule 5 draft in the wintertime, you have to keep him on the Major League roster. And if you don't, then you have to offer him back to the original club if you try to send him back to AAA. And that's what happened.
It's been a night of firsts for him so far. He picked up his first big league hit, his first big league RBI. He's pitching past the 7th inning for the first time as a major leaguer. And he's trying tonight to pick up his first win as a starting pitcher after beginning his professional career as a backup catcher.
And the first homer he's allowed.
Line drive into the upper deck, foul off the bat of Martin Prado. Two balls, 2 strikes to first baseman Martin Prado. And a 5-1 Chicago lead in our 8th inning. Tap to short. And Derek Lee drops a low throw.
Wow, who are you going to give that one to? It was a low throw, but it didn't look like it hit in the dirt. Derek Lee just had it go under the web of his glove, and he's going to be charged with the error. Oh, yeah, it wasn't that low. He just flat out missed it. And that's going to get Mr. Wells out of the ball game.
What a job, though, for Randy Wells. Took a no-hitter into the 7th inning. Chipper Jones with a clean single to left spoiled that. And Wells with a look in at Brian Onora says nice job. And the compliment certainly ought to be returned. 5-1 Chicago the lead. Braves threatening though in the 8th inning as this call to the bullpen brought to you by AT&T. Your world delivered.
For a full list of Peachtree TV Screen on the Green movies, you know the drill. All you got to do is go to PeachtreeTV.com.
All right, JJ, thank you very much. There's our version of Dream Girls, the Tomahawk team. Hoping the Braves can come back here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Randy Wells was awfully tough. 7 innings plus of 2 hit, no walk, 4 strikeout baseball. He gave up the Garrett Anderson home run, only 83 pitches for him. in those 7 innings, and Lou Piniella wants a little marmalade. Carlos Marmol on for the 8th.
This guy's awesome. A 149 batting average against him, only 7 hits in 14 innings, 20 strikeouts. Now he's walked a bunch of guys, 21 as you see, but he has been outstanding in a setup role now for Kevin Gregg.
Let's see if Atlanta can get something done with Marmol. 5-1, 1 on, nobody out. And maybe the key move in this game could prove to be Bobby Cox allowing Kawakami to stay in the game, hit for himself, and pitch another inning. Remember, the Braves are without Casey Kochman on their bench. That allowed Bobby to save Greg Norton for the 8th or the 9th if a run scoring situation arises.
And it might turn out to be big. Got to make this guy throw strikes. 21 walks to 27 strikeouts. He's only given up 2 runs, though. And one of those was a solo homer.
A 4-pitch walk. So a homer, an error, and a walk. And now Lou Piniella starts thinking about some Tums.
Well, the error by Derek Lee was just really a weird one for him because the ball was not in the dirt. His first error of the year just went off the web of his glove. So that helped a lot. And Marmol was nowhere near where Soto wanted that pitch. And that throw just waffled his glove.
Blanco is the Braves batter. He is hitless tonight. A strikeout and a pop out. Line drive right field. Fukudome with a diving catch.
Great play. Great play at a clutch time when it looked like that was going to be a sinking line drive hit and load the bases up. He got a good jump on the ball and timed this perfectly. Tough break for Gregor Blanco.
And for a guy who looked at times to be playing so tentatively last year, I don't think you can say that about Fukudome tonight.
No, he's actually for the whole year. He's played much more like the veteran presence he was for the Chinichi Dragons.
So Greg Norton will bat for Atlanta, hitting a .129 this year for the Braves. And nearly got hit and did get hit. He'll need a tow truck as he'll hobble down to first. And now Larry Rothschild out. That hit batsman unbelievably will bring the tying run to the plate and the top of the Atlanta order as well.
I think your description of needing a tow truck was accurate. Because I think he got hit right in the toe. Again, you're a professional. Ow, that really hurt. That was a direct shot, too. Then he landed on the baseball.
And he's got to come out of the game. And Chris Medlin, it appears, will come on and pinch run for Greg Norton. I mean, it goes from the ridiculous to the sublime for the Braves when it comes to injuries. They are achieving critical mass when it comes to shorthandedness on this Braves bench.
Chris Medlin can fly, by the way. He's right there with Jair Jurgens in athleticism and being able to run the bases, and did play some shortstop in college.
So Prado at third, Francoeur at second, Medlin now the man at first. And what a time for Kelly Johnson to vaporize a baseball.
Kelly, this guy's all over the place.
And for a club that didn't show a lot of patience in the first 7 innings, all of a sudden the Braves have the eye working, knowing Marmol can't throw a strike.
And he's issued 2 bases-loaded walks already this year. He's already abandoned some of his theatrics. And remember, he was holding the ball out in front of him earlier. Oh, no. He's going back behind his body. Earlier, he wasn't. Bullpen still busy for the Cubs, right and left.
Taking all the way, 3 balls and a strike. He won't be taking if it's in the sweet spot here.
A good hack at that. And honestly, Giovanni Soto can't really give a sign, you know, fastball away, fastball in, because his control's not that good. He's almost got to set up right behind the point of the plate.
Bases loaded walk. Boy, we've seen a ton of those this year. RBI for Kelly Johnson.
Getting to the part of the order you want up there, too. The way Escobar's been swinging the bat, that good road trip. And remember, he likes the ball out away from him. Loves to drive the ball where he can extend his arms.
And how important was Escobar for this Atlanta attack? He comes into play tonight with the 3rd highest batting average in the National League with runners in scoring position. And he takes a slider for a strike, hitting .429 this year with men at second or third base. Buckled it. Nasty pitch.
Slider away and then threw a slider right at him. And made him flinch and dropped it in there.
That might be a byproduct of that 4th inning pitch from Wells. Fought that one off to stay alive.
I'd like for him to try that again with you now. He throws 2 sliders that were almost unhittable, and then he throws a fastball and almost made a mistake with it where he could reach it and poke it into right field.
He does take a shot to right, but Fukudome gives ground. Runner at second tags, runner at third. Francoeur tags and scores. It's now a 5-3 game.
Good at bat. After taking 2 nasty sliders, able to get a run home with a sacrifice fly. Good at bat.
And so now they've got to face Chipper Jones with McCann on deck. And a 5-3 game. 3 runs on only 1 hit.
Oh, what a rip he had. Best fastball from Marmol yet. That was a strike. That was 94.
Boy, come on, Jeff.
Went back to the slider. That's been a good pitch for him, but missed. I think I'd have to try another one if I were Marmol, rather than challenge this guy with a fastball. He did and missed.
Soto out to try to calm down Marmol. He was issued a walk. Got a great bit of outfield work from Fukudome to Rob Blanco. He hit Greg Norton. He walked Kelly Johnson. Now a sac fly to Escobar. And now he's way behind in the count to Chipper Jones.
Just the way that conversation looked, Chip, it was almost like he was urging Marmol to give him his best shot, you know, challenge him. Don't mess around. We don't want to walk another guy. Let's see if they go with the fastball. Oh, slider.
Now Soto pointing out to that Cubs outfield where they are playing very deeply. 3-2 pitch. Little ground ball right side, and the inning is over. The Braves score 3 times, but only 1 hit. 5-3 game now. We go to the ninth. In the bottom of the 8th inning to draw within 2 runs tonight. It's now 5-3 going to the 9th inning, and Peter Moylan has been extremely busy. Look at that workload. This is already his 27th game.
He was in a bunch of games on the road trip too. Says he's figured out a little something though that was a flaw in his delivery that was keeping him from dropping that breaking ball in for strikes. But his last outing against Arizona, a good one that included a strikeout on the breaking ball. He was in 3 of the 7 games on the road trip.
And so in this 9th inning against Lou Piniella's Cubs, Soto, Blanco, and the pitcher spot are all due. Lou, all he can do is shake his head. This Cubs bullpen has at times been a real question mark for them, and Marmol did not pitch well tonight, but he had a big lead with which to work. And now the rest of that Cub core will look on as Moylan faces Giovanni Soto to start. Mets were beaten tonight by the Pirates. They beat Johan Santana 3-1 tonight. Again, the Phillies play a little later on, so a chance for some ground to be gained if the Braves can come back in their last at bat tonight.
Mets are really banged up.
Angel Pagana's hurt. Gary Sheffield's been bothered by a bug. Reyes with a calf. Beltran with a knee. Delgado's out for a couple of months.
There's that breaking ball, a beauty.
Soto missed the ball by 2 feet. That thing exploded away from the right-hand hitter.
That's something that's been missing, though, for Peter, at least in the first couple of months. Just getting the feel back for the breaking ball. Not that he's going to get major league hitters to chase that one every time, but it was the curve ball before, early in the count, that set it up. So he's on the road back.
Does that ball look like, as a hitter, it's going right toward the middle of your back out of the pitcher's hand?
Yes. The first one he threw in certainly did. That one was, the strikeout pitch was thrown more or less at the middle of the plate, but it looked like it was just a sweeper. Big wide breaking ball. He had no intentions of throwing it for a strike, and it worked.
Andres Blanco had a good year going down at AAA. He is 1 for 3 in tonight's game with a 7th inning single.
This guy's listed as a switch hitter. However, there was a game against a left-handed pitcher in which he batted right-handed once and then turned around and batted left-handed for the rest of the game, and was asked about it after the game, and he said, well, I had my shoulders operated on in the offseason, my left shoulder, and it's just more comfortable hitting left-handed. So lately he's just going straight lefty no matter who's out there.
Well, he's 2 for 11 as a left-hand hitter this year, 167 in total, and behind 0-2. Moylan's job simple. Shut him down in the 9th and hope the Braves bats can do something against former Marlins closer Kevin Gregg. Broken bat, fair ball. Chipper. There's a bullet. Chipper had a throwing error earlier tonight. Wasn't going to let that happen here in the 9th.
He was laughing and made me laugh before the ball game. He said, you know how I can tell I'm getting older? And I said, no. And he said, I'm having to throw the ball higher when I throw it to first, meaning kind of arcing it over there. There's no arc on this one, buddy. It's right at the bag, and he planted and threw a laser over there.
And now Michael Hoffpower stands in. He has become, I don't want to say the platoon guy with Derek Lee, because Derek plays every day, but against the real tough right-handers, the Cubs have been able to plug Hoffpower in and have him play first base. He can also play the outfield. And one of those aforementioned left-handed bats Lou Piniella was looking for last year for Chicago. And that ball hit hard to short. One pitch. Third out. Good stretch. Inning over. Kevin Gregg. Time to head to the bright lights and the big stage at Turner Field.
Ninth inning. Let's take a look at the AM/PM play of the game. AM, PM, too much good stuff. And I'll tell you, the Braves are about to put some good stuff on the Cubs were it not for this great play by Kosuke Fukudome. Will take away a base hit from Gregor Blanco last inning. That prevented what might have been a huge inning. And the closer for the Cubs, Kevin Gregg, on. He's got 7 saves on the year. I believe he's got 7 in a row.
He does.
Didn't have much luck against Atlanta last year, though, Chip. He was in 5 games with Florida. Lost a game against Atlanta he was trying to save. Saved 2 others, but had a 9 ERA. They put 5 runs on him in 5 innings.
He, too, a guy that, as you see, will walk people. And 1 walk in this 9th inning would bring the tying run to the plate. And that's something Gregg obviously wishes to avoid. Gregg spent the majority of his minor league career with the Oakland Athletics and Angels organizations. Came to the big leagues for the first time in 2003.
Good split finger pitch.
But has had a history of knee problems. That caused him some issues earlier this year. And I think it's an advantage for the Braves. They saw him with the Marlins all those years.
They know what he's got. This isn't an unknown quantity for him. Florida dealt from a position of strength. They felt like they had some other people to step in and be the closer this year. And got a young flame-throwing right-hander named Jose Cita.
2 balls and a strike. And Matt Lindstrom's the flamethrower in their pen to close now for the Marlins. And Gregg with that wildness. 3 balls and a strike. Now it's full.
Last year, Kevin Gregg only gave up 3 home runs all year in 68 2/3 innings. You see Brian's numbers against him this year, playing in Wrigley Field a lot. 4 homers in 21 innings.
High fly ball to left, but it's playable for Soriano. Garrett Anderson hit one right down the line last time up for his 2nd Braves home run.
This got the rally started last inning with a leadoff homer. That broke up the shutout. Braves went on to get 3 in the inning.
Good rip. Come on, Garrett.
Now it's 0-2. Braves low in hits coming into play tonight as a team was 4. The Rockies 4 hit him. I think that might have been the Aaron Cook game on May 21st. Tonight they have 2, but have 3 runs. Need a runner and need somebody to play long ball to tie this thing up.
Never faced Kevin Gregg before, and he's hanging tough.
But I'll bet you saw him in spring training when Gregg was with the Angels. And
Good him, that's right.
Played out there all those years.
Yeah.
That one in the dirt. It gets away from Soto. And Soto slams into the fence and comes up hurting.
Might have lost a tooth. He went face first into the wall to try to pick that up quickly. And it's padded over there, but I think he hit the corner of it. There's the split finger pitch, and one of the problems of it is trying to make sure you make a catch. And as he was bending over to pick this ball up, watch Soto's head go into the wall. Wow. Man.
Well, there's the break. A strikeout. Wild pitch has Anderson at first. And Martin Prado will dig a toe hold here and try to split a gap.
Martin had that clutch home run in New York to win a ball game in extra innings.
Fly ball center field. That'll carry out to Johnson, however. And now Jeff Francoeur, the final hope for the Braves. Jeff has walked and scored in 3 plate appearances.
He is really due here in this ballpark, too. We told you earlier that he hadn't hit many home runs here in recent days. Only 2 in his last 266 at-bats in his home ballpark. And his last home run overall this year, May 1st, so he's due to launch one. Make Greg get the ball up a little bit. Try to lay off early in the count. Lay off that split finger. See if he'll make a mistake up to you.
Everybody on their feet at Turner Field. Powder River at 93 miles per hour.
There was one that was up, though. Laid off the first pitch, got one up.
Swing and a drive. Left center field. Johnson back at the wall. We are tied.
Ball was clocked. And again, I think he got a pitch up. He laid off 2 pitches that were down. He swung through a 93 fastball about belt high and then just crushed that ball. Let's see the location. Up, belt high, and he got it out front. He indeed was due, and he delivered.
Jeff might need an Advil. 1 ball, no strikes. See the beat down he got? A 2-run homer. Don't forget, Greg struck out Garrett Anderson. A wild pitch. Soto couldn't track the ball down in time. And that extra base runner allowed Francoeur to hit with a man aboard. And Lou Piniella's bullpen coughs it up again.
And they got 5 runs on 3 hits. Come on. They are doing it tonight. Taking advantage of some opportunities the Cubs have given them.
And you have to feel for Randy Wells. There goes his chance at his first major league win. That man launched one into left center.
Gregor Blanco giving him a good battle here.
But Wells, you win as a team, you lose as a team. Still out there watching it all unravel in the 8th and the 9th. Now let's see if Blanco can end it with 2 outs. He can't. This time Soto hangs on, fires to first, And the inning is over. The Cubs have gift wrapped a couple of runs late. Jeff Francoeur vaporized the baseball tonight. His first homer in a month. And we're tied after 9. Lou Piniella exasperated as the Cubs skipper was 8 outs away from watching Randy Wells throw a no-hitter. The Cubs have blown a 5-run lead on a night where Atlanta has 3 hits. They've tied this game on a Francoeur homer.
Hey, they were due a couple of breaks, you know?
No question. Unbelievable. And now Mike Gonzalez on in relief of Peter Moylan, who did his job. We told you at the time, can't allow the Cubs to score anymore. He didn't. Braves did. Now we're in the 10th.
Be careful here with this guy. You know how much he likes to jump on the first pitch and how well he's done in this park.
And Soriano has lifted the ball in the air every at bat tonight. Chipper Jones a step off the line at third base. As Soriano led off the game with a solo home run, his 54th in his career. He came in tied with Craig Biggio with 53. Now he'll try to chase down Ricky Henderson. And a long time ago, here's how the game started.
It was pretty much a no-doubter. Same general direction as the one that Derek Lee hit in the 8th.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Stop by Brian in case Soriano offered at that.
He has seen this movie before.
Probably wasn't wearing shades earlier.
Gonzalez whiffs Soriano.
Good breaking ball down and in.
And I think the Gas South fireworks, they ran out. I didn't see them go off after that strikeout. Did you?
Maybe they forgot.
Maybe a chance with Terrio up. Ryan 0 for 4 in the game.
Somebody will remember in a minute. Or that, either that or somebody misremembered.
Yes, that happens to me all the time. Told you about Terrio's surprising power surge. Coming into this year, and coming into May 1st, he had 7 home runs in 1,346 at-bats. As we used to say in Chicago, maybe the capricious winds of Wrigley Field were blowing in his favor in the month of May. 5 homers and 99 at-bats. How does that happen?
I don't know, but I believe Lou Piniella was on him to try to jump on a few, urging him with runners in scoring position to take a little bigger swing and try to find some gaps. Cubs are 2-4 in extra. Excuse me, they are 1-2 in extra inning games, and the Braves are 2-2.
Driven down the right field line. That's slicing away from Francoeur, and he got a great running start. Boy, did he cover some ground there.
Almost overran it. He was moving so quick. Good swing by Theriot to drive it the other way. Watch Jeff have to catch this over his head. Nice play. And he stayed in bounds.
Here's Fukudome. He takes a shot at left, and that's a fair ball. This guy knows how to hit.
That was just some professional hitting there against a guy who's tough on lefties. It was as if he went up there with an idea in mind that he was going to get a breaking ball, and did, and stayed right on that pitch.
You know, when you watch Kawakami pitch, when you watch Dice K pitch for the Red Sox, they have that pause at the top of the delivery, very similar styles. That swing reminded me so much of Ichiro in Seattle. Boy, he went with the ball, finished high with his hands.
And they all seem to have high leg kicks that you think might throw off, you'd be able to throw off their timing, but it rarely happens.
So a good piece of hitting forces the Braves to intentionally walk Derek Lee. And they're at first and second with 2 out. Reed Johnson now. Remember, he came on when Milton Bradley strained a calf on a ground out in the 4th inning. You know, Lou Piniella wishes he had Bradley, who can switch hit, still in the game. But now he's got Johnson, who's been a red-hot Cub hitter the last couple of weeks.
This guy's a tough out, too. He will battle you. Got to make good pitches. He likes to drive the ball the other way, and Gregor Blanco is playing him, shading him a little over to right center. Huge gap in left center.
Fisted right side. Will it stay in play? Near the dugout. Prado is there. He's got it. Chicago strands 2 in the 10th. One great thing about Major League Baseball, you just never know what you're going to see. We thought we had a chance for a no-hit bid tonight. In fact, the Cubs were within 8 outs of turning that in tonight. And on a night when Atlanta has 3 hits, they've scored 5 runs off the Cubs closer on a dropped third strike and a home run. And now Atlanta can win it in the bottom of the 10th inning with Matt Diaz leading off against right-hander Angel Guzman.
Guzman's got a good sinking fastball and a curveball that is kind of short when it's good, but he has on occasion had some trouble getting it down. So Braves might get another break here if he leaves some of that breaking stuff up.
No balls and a strike to Diaz.
Boy, come on, Matty.
Matt had an excellent month of May. 14 for 37. That's a .378 average. Did not hit a home run in the month of May, but very successful average-wise.
Looping line drive, and there's a start. Johnson, Escobar, and Jones are up.
Part of his success, too, came from him going to right and right center more in the month of May. And he does it again here to get a potential rally started. Fastball up. Didn't try to pull it. He's on base. Let's see if Kelly's going to bunt him over.
Kelly has 2 sacrifice bunts this year. And nearly to the screen. A marvelous stop by the Cub catcher to save a wild pitch.
Boy, was it ever. On a fastball at 94. Nice backhanded catch. Last year's Rookie of the Year. He was leaning that way a little bit. He was looking for something inside. Otherwise, he doesn't get that ball.
Take it!
Somebody for the Cubs was screaming he's breaking. Diaz got a huge jump and the pitch low.
Yeah, I think that distracted Guzman too. Just the bluff by Diaz. That was excellent. When Derek Lee starts charging, you got a little room there to dance around some before the second baseman can get over there. So a good play by Matt.
Outfield very deep. Fontenot in on the grass at third. Kelly ahead now 2-0. And the pitch bunted. Back to the mound. Only one play. Third sacrifice of beauty. Winning run in scoring position with Escobar and Chipper coming up.
Got to do the little things right. Got to execute when the game's on the line, and Kelly Johnson just did. Now let's see how the Cubs play it with Escobar up there. You know how good he has been with runners in scoring position, but you got Chipper on deck.
And McCann in the hole. That's the beauty of this portion of the Braves order. This trio has been, when healthy, the most effective grouping offensively all year.
Exactly.
Vicious cut, fouled straight back. You never know when a turning point for a season stares you straight in the face. Maybe for Atlanta, this could be that moment. On June the 2nd, down 5-0 with 7 outs left, being no hit. They have somehow forged a tie and have a chance to win it in the 10th.
Seems like they're trying to stay in on you. No, they're going away here.
Got it there. 0-2.
Tough pitch to handle.
Come on now.
But remember, last time up on an 0-2 count, he was able to deliver a sacrifice fly against Marmol. That was a tight slider, looked like. If not a cutter, maybe a cut fastball. Opponents are just 1 for 20 with runners in scoring position against Guzman.
Ground ball to short. Through the legs of Diaz. Somehow that ball didn't hit him. And he's at third now, but with 2 outs. Chipper Jones, then McCann. Pick the poison, Uncle Lou.
Well, that was an aggressive play by Matt to try to go to third here on a ground ball to his right. But I love the fact that he made it, because you can score from third in so many different ways than you can from second. There's no one throwing in the Cubs bullpen, and Lou Piniella racing to the mound to have a discussion with his infield.
You know what the question is, son, who do you want to pitch to?
Well, he hasn't had that many opportunities to face either one of these guys. He was pretty much on the DL all last year, recovering from Tommy John surgery. The only guy he's faced of the two is McCann, who's 2 for 2 with a homer. He has not faced Chipper before.
And look, Luke can read the newspapers too. He knows the scouting report and the injury report. He knows that Chipper's foot's not 100%. But
he also knows Chipper has close to 2,400 career hits and over 400 homers.
Exactly right.
I have to help my defense out here. I put Chipper on and pitched to McCann just to help the defense if they need a force play at second base on a tough play in the hole.
That's what they're going to do. Again, you want to set up. Whoa! Yeah. Lou has seen it all tonight, and so have the Cub fans. Look at him. But you want to set up your lineup to make the decisions for the other guy as tough as possible. And that again is Escobar, Jones, McCann.
He does have a lefty still available to him in the bullpen, Jason Waddell, but he's not up.
Well, he's already burned through Marmol and Gregg, and those are his 2 best, most experienced relievers, and neither one of them was effective. So the intentional walk has Chipper at first. That's not the man of consequence. The man at third base is.
I don't know what Chipper just said and shouted to Brian McCann, but it was something encouraging from the veteran to the younger player.
Brian's had a couple of, they'll make it 3 good swings tonight. Remember, he chased Milton Bradley to the bullpen gate in the 2nd inning. But his old 4-4 tonight. A hit wins it. A wild pitch, a balk, an error. A lot of ways to make the Braves fans happy tonight.
This sets up even better for Brian McCann and the Braves having a lefty up there. This is the only lefty he's faced this inning except for Kelly Johnson and Chipper, who bunted and walked. Kind of takes away, it negates that nasty slider down and away.
Oh, that one almost got away.
Got to be ready and anticipate that. That's the second one, almost the third one, really. Thinking about that pitch when they were walking Chipper, that Diaz has got to anticipate, be ready. You know what, that might have hit him. That might have hit Brian McCann on the foot. That was very close to his right foot, but he didn't say anything. He wants to stay in there and hit.
Hitters count 2-0.
Guzman wanted that pitch. He thought he had a strike there. So what do you do here? Do you turn him loose?
I trust Brian McCann's judgment. If he wants to swing the bat, now Lou's out. Lou's asking. Put him on. That's exactly what I would do. Take your chances with Anderson.
Well, you take your chances with Anderson, but this takes away any opportunity Guzman has. This takes away any opportunity he has to pitch around the guy or make a mistake and wind up walking him. He has to throw strikes now. Garrett Anderson back in the 8th inning, put the Braves on the board with his second home run in 2 games. He's never faced Guzman before in regular season. They tried to pitch Brian down and in, down and in, down and in. Let's see how they work Garrett.
At the knees, a called strike.
With the slider. I like those numbers.
Popped up and out of play. Now he's got to get into emergency mode. 0-2.
He does, but the Cubs are playing kind of an odd shift on Garrett with Terrio way up the middle at shortstop. Fontenot's off the line now at third, but an enormous hole there on the left side of the diamond. And 0-2, a lot of times a pitcher will try to work a guy away. If he makes a mistake, Garrett could punch it through that hole. They're staying in, though.
Ground ball! He's got it! Throw to first! Low throw, but he held on. And we go to the 11th. Lou Piniella saying, we had him all the way. That almost found a hole.
Hey, welcome back to you folks that took a hike on us late in the ball game. Guess what? Braves tied it up. Here's how it happened. In the 9th inning, after Anderson reaches here on a strikeout. That's right, a strikeout. Braves are down by 2, and he reaches on the wild pitch. Jeff Francoeur, first homer since May 1st, a 2-run jack, tied it up. Braves put 3 on the board in the 8th, 2 in the 9th. They're now in the 11th, and Matt Diaz stays in the game to play left field.
And as we like to say, for those of you who are just joining us, shame on you. It's your own fault. Only because Joe has turned into a big softy did we even show you those highlights.
Just trying to be nice.
Well, it's something you're very good at. Here's Soriano, 23 times he's pitched this year. And he'll face the lower half of this Cubs attack. Fontenot, Soto, Blanco. And a quick strike. Mets lost tonight. Phillies are in San Diego facing the Padres and Jake Peavy tonight. This would be a wonderful night if the Braves could win this game.
Boy, has this guy been good. And he seems to be getting better every time out with his arm strength returning. Chip. Only 2 games on the road trip for him were in Arizona. 2 innings, 1 hit shutout ball, 3 strikeouts.
Now that's one other very positive thing about the way as Fontenot singles to left. A big positive for this Braves bullpen. They really feel they have 3 potential closers that they can stack up, mix and match depending on the game situation, in Soriano, Gonzalez, and of course Moylan.
It's a great advantage to have.
So Fontenot singles, and Bobby Scales will come on and hit. You heard the big roar down below us. Scales again, that great story, 31 years old, drafted originally by San Diego. Thought about giving up baseball in 2002, stayed with it, and here he is finally in the major leagues. And his friends, his family here from Alpharetta, where he lives in the off season and spends his time as a substitute high school teacher.
He's a great story. Kind of guy you pull for unless it's in the 11th inning with a tying or the go-ahead run at first, and he's trying to move him up. Mike Quaddy with the signs at third base, but Scales 3 for 4 with 2 homers as a pinch hitter, and maybe Lou Piniella thought he'd have a better opportunity to bunt than Soto.
Popped up the bunt though. Not what Lou Piniella had in mind.
Toughest pitch to bunt is a good high fastball, and that's what Soriano fired at him twice at the top of the zone, and it's hard to get on top of that pitch and get it down. Well done defensively by Atlanta.
So Blanco bats with a man aboard, 1 out now. Aaron Heilman now throwing for the Cubs in their bullpen in left. Ouch. Strike 1. Here's the pride of Notre Dame, Aaron Heilman.
Former Met. Brian McCann still has his glove off. That stung him. Cubs don't run much, only 23 swipes as a team. Fontenot is 2 for 2.
If you were Lou Piniella, would you take a shot?
Yes, I would.
Coy Hill, the Cubs backup catcher, is in the on deck circle. He'll bat next, barring a double play here by Blanco. A short lead by Fontenot from first.
Cubs looking at the scoreboard, see the first place Milwaukee Brewers getting pounded tonight by Florida. So even more reason to be upset about losing the lead tonight.
Cardinals are beating the Reds 4-2. That's in the 6th inning. That's 10-1 Marlins. They scored 2 in the 2nd, 3 in the 3rd, and 5 in the 4th. Off Milwaukee tonight. Dan Uggla, by the way, hit his 10th home run. I believe that homer made him the fastest second baseman to 100 in history. Quick chat with McCann and Soriano with Blanco behind in the count, a ball and 2 strikes.
Fontenot had a little bit of lean working there. Keep an eye on him, but he had a little bit of weight on his right foot, like he was about to cross over.
Where was that?
Tried to backdoor him. Bobby wants to know too. A little wide. Good try though.
Blanco protects the plate.
Good pitch to run on here, 2-2 if they are going.
They're not. And a fly ball hammered to right. That one drifts back on Francoeur, and Jeff reaches up and makes the grab. Two outs. And here's Coy Hill.
Normally, you wouldn't think that they would run in this situation because you got a pinch hitter up there, and you say, well, if they get thrown out, the inning ends, and you've wasted your pinch hitter. But not in this instance. Remember, they pinch hit for Soto, so Hill's going to have to come in and catch anyway.
This guy has been a real find for this Cubs club. He was the opening day starter for the Diamondbacks in 2006. This is his third year with the Cubs, and all he's done when he's played is win 25 of 39 games he started.
It's impressive.
And that ball shot foul down the left field line. When Giovanni Soto was down with that sore right shoulder that we mentioned in early April, he missed 5 games. Hill had 6 hits in those 5 contests and had 3 go-ahead RBIs for the Chicago team. A very valuable backup, much like David Ross is for Atlanta. Behind the plate.
Oh, that was close. Brian had to move his glove. He was set up on the outside part of the plate, but had to move his glove to the left a little. It might have tailed on him a little off the plate, but it was close. Good eye by Hill.
That one split the dish. Does anybody run in baseball anymore?
Not many.
Wow. 2-2. 2-3. Leadoff hit by Fontenot, and he's anchored at first base. Bottom of the 11th inning coming up. Great game at Turner Field in Atlanta. Over 30,000 on hand as we approach the bottom of the 10 o'clock hour. And despite this being the 11th inning, this game has really zipped along. It's been a very entertaining game. You've seen a little bit of everything tonight. As Coy Hill in to catch, Aaron Heilman on to pitch. And the Braves have Prado, Francoeur, and Gregor Blanco coming up to face Heilman, who, like many of these other Cubs, lots of walks in relief.
And the Braves have seen a lot of Aaron Heilman when he was with New York. A lot of guys with a lot of at-bats against him. Last year he was in 6 games against Atlanta. Gave up 4 2/3 innings, gave up 5 runs, and has a career ERA of almost 5 against Atlanta.
Heilman, one of those Mets relievers who was exiled after 2 straight years of blown leads in September. He was sent to Seattle on December 10th. The Cubs got him from the Mariners in January of this year. And Heilman has had a very rough time of it the last 2 weeks.
I'm still surprised he's working in the bullpen. I always figured the Mets to use him in the rotation. They didn't. A little bit, you know, a start here and there. I just always thought that because he's so big and strong that his mechanics might be better served every 5 days and throwing a lot of pitches because he's strong enough to start.
Did he have that third pitch that would make him a quality starter, though, is my question. Ground ball, deep short. Ball dropped. Terrio can't handle it. Leadoff man aboard in the 11th.
Well, that's a good argument, Chip, and that's one the Mets kept saying he needed an off-speed pitch. There's a guy with a sinking fastball and a slider, but no changeup. I don't think Terrio was going to get Martin Prado there on that play, no matter what he did to come up with the ball. Leadoff man on again.
Francoeur 2 for 12 against Heilman lifetime. He tied the game in the 9th with 2 outs with a long homer. And Francoeur's homer would have been irrelevant had they been able to strike out Anderson.
What a swing. Kevin Gregg got one up, and Jeff made him pay.
And not only strike out Anderson, but throw him out on a ball in the dirt. And a wild pitch gave the Braves an extra out. And now Jeff lays down a bunt. Nobody expected that. And Heilman throws him out. That's the first sacrifice of Jeff Francoeur's career. Wow.
Well, it was a dandy. How about a homer in the 9th and a sacrifice bunt in the 11th to help your team win? And that was so surprising. Derek Lee wasn't even charging from first. He was the guy still standing there covering the bag.
But you know what? That is such an exceptional play in this day and age of Major League Baseball, where sluggers just swing for the fences. I think we're going to start seeing more of that.
I love it. I love it. You're trying to win the ball game. Get that guy at second base and have somebody try to get him in instead of trying to score him all the way from first.
Now a hit could end the game. Blanco up. And slashes one foul with a good cut.
One of the keys tonight was all eyes are on Gregor Blanco and what he would do. Doesn't have a hit tonight, but a chance to be a hero.
Matt Diaz on deck. Braves catchers McCann and Ross talking things over. It's all set up with 1 out.
Many at bats as Blanco got last year. Surprised to see that he didn't face Heilman. Either that or he wasn't in our stat pack tonight for this.
Back to the mound, and Heilman got in the way. What a play.
Yikes.
That was ticketed for center field.
Sure was. That was a pitcher who squares himself up and faces the hitter and was able to defend himself here. If it wasn't going to get through, it was going to hit him in the knee or something and bounce somewhere sideways. Just barely got the glove down in time.
Wow. And he also had the presence of mind to look behind him and see what the runner Prado was going to try to do. But still, Martin moves up 90 feet. And Matt Diaz, the hitter. Matt has singled in his lone at bat tonight. Can the Braves, who've made so much offensive work with 2 outs this year, do it again in the 11th inning tonight?
And again, he just had a great month of May. That was a breaking ball that he was trying to go out around. There's even a little grin on his face there. They're playing him to right center and a huge gap in left center, and he tried to go out around that ball. Early in the count, you can afford to do that. That was close.
That was the pitch to hit. Might have been a mistake. 2-2.
Watch Coy Hill set up away, probably a slider out there.
And a great job to block that ball and keep Prado anchored at third base.
Great stop. Oh, almost through the 5-hole. Right off the web of the glove. Matt Diaz 9 for 18 with 2 out and runners in scoring position. How about one more?
Little flare. That's going to be caught in right. Lou Piniella's Cubs live to see a 12th inning. Well, those kids are having a great time, and they've seen a marvelously entertaining game tonight.
A lot of those rally caps were employed in the 8th and 9th inning and were very successful for Atlanta.
But they need to take them off because the Cubs are up now. And you don't want to see the Cubs take the lead here with the top of their order up. It starts with Soriano versus Soriano. Ooh, don't see that too often.
Well, Soriano will definitely get the best of Soriano.
No, not a doubt in my mind. We had a Blanco matchup tonight. And a little flare that's going to be caught. Look at where the barrel of the bat ends up.
Sawed off. Jammed badly, and an easy play for Kelly.
And because I'm working with the finest analyst in baseball, he was able to predict that Soriano would win that matchup. It's Kreskin the Magnificent.
Yeah,
like.
I had a feeling.
Here's Terrio.
And those feelings are consistent. The one guy I'm worried about in their lineup, once you get past Soriano, is in the on-deck circle. Fukudomi's had some good swings tonight. I would not like to see anybody on base in front of him.
The difference in this game tonight is the Braves bullpen. Moylan, Gonzalez, Soriano, nothing. Nada, zilch, zippo. It's kind of like third final and rubber game, you know. See you later, Ryan. He didn't like that call.
I'm not sure what his complaint was.
Well, he's guessing ball.
He must have been.
Well, here's your man Fukudome. But at least nobody is on, but two are out.
Telling this guy, Rafael Soriano, is just getting better and better. That was easy, almost like a lazy wind-up 95. Zip. Saw him the night before as he was going out for batting practice. I said, Rafi, how you feeling? Pretty good. I said, well, you're pitching really good. If you're feeling as good as you're pitching, you're feeling really good. And he said, I'm feeling pretty good.
Pretty good. The rest of the league were terrified to see really good.
Yeah.
Well, look, he's a guy that makes his living with his right arm, and his right arm last year wasn't healthy. And I'm sure they're still in the dark corners of the mind wondering, am I healthy? I would think that pitch after pitch from Soriano, those fears are being dispelled. Easy cheese from him tonight. And this is second inning of relief. I hear many Cub fans now. So let's go Braves chant. And Chicago led this thing 5-0. Flinch, but a ball.
Like it had the plate, must have been low. Wow. By I guess a fraction. It's supposed to be at the bend of the knee, is supposed to be the bottom of the strike zone. That looked like that's where it was. That's a pretty good number. With men on base, no one's gotten a hit off of him.
Does that mean, is that what he's talking about when he's saying he's feeling pretty good?
Pretty good, yes.
Okay. Going to go to 0 for 29 if McCann can catch up. An adjustment to the glasses. In fact, he took them off.
Yeah.
Well, that's a tough little bit of ballet, isn't it? Throw off the mask, grab the glasses with your right hand, and then try to catch the ball with the left. Look at this. Whoop.
He didn't want any sweat to get in the way of that catch, I guess.
Or if you throw the mask and everything goes, glasses get scratched up. I mean, is that?
Well, he'd already cleared the mask off, so I'm guessing he was about to toss those glasses too.
Another pop fly foul. This one out of play, which I think is what Chino Carajillo was saying.
No fuera. No play.
You taught me para calle. That's about as much Spanish.
We don't want to talk about that till the bottom half.
Yeah,
of the
right.
end.
Sorry. Two RBI night for Derek Lee, but down 2 strikes. Down 3 strikes. Slider got in. 3 strikeouts for Soriano. Well, let's see if the Braves indeed can go para calle. Bottom of the 12th inning, tied at 5. Inning. And the Bravos have a great chance now. Top of the order is coming up.
It's kind of the way this game's been tonight, a little back and forth there.
Yeah.
Braves have had their leadoff man on each of the last 2 innings. Got him as far as third base, couldn't get him in. Cubs have walked a tightrope where that's concerned.
Derek Lee gets down on the first pitch of the 12th inning. And 1 man down. Escobar has an 0 for 3 night with an RBI. Finals in all across the big leagues tonight. Yankees roll again, 12-3. They beat the Rangers. 3 more home runs hit at New Yankee Stadium tonight. Roy Halladay struck out 14 for Toronto. They beat the Angels 6-4. Nationals beat the Giants 10-6. They scored 6 in the 8th off Bobby Howry. And the Giants bullpen to win. Pirates beat the Mets and Johan Santana. Marlins crushed Milwaukee 10-3. Burke Badenhop a win. And we'll see the Brew Crew after the Cubs leave town this weekend.
Braves have not had a walk-off homer this year. About time for one. Escobar had one last year on this date, June 2nd against Florida off of Logan Kinsing. So maybe June 2nd was a key day for Unell.
Taking all the way at 3-0.
Four base hit. Come on, Esky.
Full count. Braves bench awfully thin tonight. Casey Kochman unable to play. You do have Diori Hernandez. You have David Ross left.
Come on, Esky.
Norton's been used. Diaz is in the game.
Cubs only have Jake Fox left on their bench.
And he can really hit. I think he's hitting over 400 at AAA. Let's worry about him another day. Full count to Escobar. 1 out. Bases clear in the 12th. Ground ball. Deep short and through.
Wow, Soriano booted it, picked it up, and then almost threw it down the right field line. Great play by Andres Blanco to keep the runner at first base. Just out of the reach of everybody getting through, but Soriano a boot and then just wildly threw it. And look at that play, having to negotiate around the umpire too.
Gary Cederstrom was going to make a kick save and a beauty. No damage done though, as Chipper is up. Another matchup that is favorable on paper for the Braves.
Wouldn't surprise me to see Heilman walking, only because he knows how much Chipper's worn him out too. A couple of doubles, 2 homers. A little reluctant to throw him a good strike, one would guess.
Outfield very deep and playing Chipper toward left.
Pitch to hit there, but he was looking for slider.
Two balls, 1 strike. Brian Snitker wasn't busy early. He's been busy late. All the Braves offense from the 8th inning on tonight.
Chipper just sitting on that slider so far. Oh,
backdoored him.
A late call. Took a little off, a little change up, but it was sinking, just took a little off his sinker. See how long it took for him to call it.
Runner goes, good jump. Pitch inside. Throw is late. Second steal of the year for Escobar, and Bobby Cox now trying to force the action offensively.
Probably took the bat right out of Chipper's hands, but it puts the winning run in scoring position. And the way McCann's been swinging the bat, that's still a good play. 3-2. I can't imagine that they would give him anything close to hit here. Playing with fire.
And now Hill and Heilman want to get together too. Another big advantage for Bobby Cox is sending Escobar in motion with 2 strikes on Chipper Jones. He knows Chipper has such great knowledge of the strike zone. He's not going to foul off a ball knowing the jump Escobar got if it's not a strike. And if it is a strike, he'll foul it off, keep the at bat alive. A lot of guys will just hack when they see that guy going.
Well, more importantly, he doesn't strike out much.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
his strike zone command is
if it's
terrific.
a good pitch, he's going to put it in play. This is going to be an interesting pitch, though. They've talked about it. Got first base open and a 3-2 count. 1 pitch away from an out, 1 pitch away from disaster.
Base hit left field. Here comes Escobar. Soriano up. Braves have won it.
Chipper was trying to run from the thumping, maybe to keep him from hitting him on the head and try to keep people from stepping on his sore foot, too. I can't believe they gave him anything remotely resembling a strike. That had a lot of the plate, a little inside-out swing. A beauty. Last time the Braves won a game when they overcame a 5-run deficit, September 5th of 07 against Philadelphia. Now check it out. Here comes the team emptying out. Chipper's happy. Here comes the celebration. Oh, no. Oh, no. No, you don't. Kelly Johnson makes the tackle. What a great win, Chip.
And maybe it's one of those wins that turns your season